What's going on, people? How you doing? My name is Dr. Sami Bayer. Please welcome back to my channel. How do narcissists behave in the bedroom? What do narcissists do in the bedroom? Now, that is the title of today's episode. As with many things in life, narcissists also have unhealthy relationships with sex and treat it as nothing more than a self-gratifying activity. After all, manipulation, control, and emotional abuse are their so-called trusty weapons that they hide behind in most circumstances. So why wouldn't they call on them in the bedroom too? The bottom line is, people with this personality disorder, that is the narcissists, are used to getting what they want, and they will only ever put themselves and their pleasure first, which doesn't bode well for a healthy sex life. So, in this video, you'll discover how narcissists behave in the bedroom and what you should do if you are involved with a narcissist. Now, sexual narcissism involves ensuring personal pleasure and ignoring a partner's needs and desires, manipulate their partners. Narcissists use sex as a weapon to get what they want, and they are prepared to do whatever it takes to realize their desires. If their partners are unwilling to do something in the bedroom, they will become relentless and really crank up the pressure. They are not averse to guilt-tripping their partners into doing things they'd usually be uncomfortable with. From them, sex is just another element of control that they can use to fulfill their needs. Pleasuring their partner really isn't a narcissist's priority. And this explains why sex with a narcissist is completely unsatisfying. Spending the night with a narcissist will leave you feeling dejected, and in some cases could even lead you to question your self-worth. In the most serious cases, it could raise the subject of sexual abuse. The narcissist won't hesitate to accuse you of being needy when you evoke the subject of your own sexual pleasure. These talented liars have what it takes to make people believe that their incompatibility issues are solely their partner's fault. The harsh truth is that in order to save face, they'll never admit their portion of responsibility. A sexual narcissist always needs to feel good about themselves. This means they won't be shy when it comes to boasting about their experiences and how many people they've slept with. If you refuse to try out the position they've been wanting to do, then you can definitely expect to receive a barrage of hate. Don't expect the narcissist to be sympathetic towards you if you didn't enjoy your latest tryst, or even if you found it painful. The only thing you should be ready to hear is how everything is your fault, and that your pleasure is your own responsibility. Plus, if a narcissist sees you getting emotional, they'll likely become more and more wound up there. Commitment isn't something that a narcissist will ever truly want. So if you are expecting any semblance of loyalty or faithfulness from one, you'll certainly be disappointed. The narcissists, they aren't equipped to be in a healthy relationship, and they will do everything in their power to avoid getting to this point. They'll never show you affection. Let's face it, the narcissist probably doesn't even understand the definition of affection. If you are involved with a sexual narcissist, you can forget tender caresses, stimulating foreplay, and intimate cuddles after lovemaking, because once they've climaxed and they are satisfied, they'll be out of the door in a flash. How romantic is that? Unfortunately, the reality of the situation means that narcissists are incapable of love, so demanding and needy. They'll expect positive comments on their performance, but that won't stop them from giving you pointers on how you could improve yours, because you obviously weren't up to par. What are the traits of a narcissist? How do narcissists behave? So, whether it's your boss, your partner, or even a family member, we are all very likely to come into contact with what's known as a narcissist at one point or another. Now, we hear so much about the narcissist, and especially about how dangerous they can be for us. So, how can we be prepared to avoid falling into a destructive spiral with a narcissist? Well, the best solution to avoid plunging into precarious territory with a narcissist is knowing how to recognize their behavioral patterns. Indeed, all types of narcissists exhibit common behavioral traits and attitudes. So without further ado, let's look at these traits and attitudes and learn how to spot them. Number one, the person is hugely self-centered. This facet of their personality runs deep, and they regularly behave in childish ways to make everything about themselves. When you discuss something together or tell a story, they will always make it about themselves. They have a strong tendency for megalomania and always feel the need to outdo others. They are incapable of showing empathy. Likewise, they demonstrate terrifying emotional coldness and act as if it's totally fine. If their victim expresses discomfort because of something the narcissist has done, they will do everything to prove that their victim is wrong and that they are indeed loving and caring. A lack of empathy is really one of the typical characteristics because these people aren't affected by sadness and they aren't bothered by making other people cry either. So in some cases, knowing that they've hurt someone can even give them a certain pleasure. They see themselves as being the most important person in the room. These narcissists, these people overestimate their accomplishments and expect to be recognized as superior without having accomplished anything that would warrant such recognition. They also constantly put forward certain successes or strengths without nuance, and they aren't shy in amplifying these so-called accomplishments. They are often absorbed by fantasies of unlimited success, power, splendor, beauty, or ideal love. However, this in fact translates into them being dissatisfied with their everyday life. They will never clearly express their opinions, feelings, or needs. Instead, they constantly seek to maintain ambiguity so that their victim continually tries to understand them. Lying is also common amongst them, and they spend their time inventing stories to make themselves look good. Indeed, they have a huge need for recognition, and they will do anything to flatter their inflated ego. They belittle their victims in order to better control them and enhance their own self-esteem. Furthermore, they'll attack people's appearance by making negative comments about weight and even dress sense. For example, when this is repeated on a daily basis, these phrases undermine the victim's self-confidence and make them doubt themselves. Humiliation, intimidation, verbal and psychological violence are also common tactics they use. They demand perfection from others. They believe that people must respond immediately to their questions and needs. With a narcissistic pervert, there is absolutely no room for error because they simply don't forgive. They'll remember everything and often bring things up from the past that could embarrass you or make you look bad. For one of them, you will never be good enough to meet their expectations. A narcissistic personality is difficult to identify because they play a double game. On the one hand, they will be incredibly psychologically violent, but on the other hand, they will come across as charming and polite. From the outside, nothing appears off, which is why so many people's entourage are shocked when they find out who they are really dealing with. They know how to win people over. If you think you are safe from this kind of a person, beware, because once the manipulator has spotted their prey, they know very well how to lure them in. They come across as very charismatic and endearing, which means that only few people resist them. They will tell you what you want to hear and play the Prince Charming card. Yes, that's right. They'll seem like the dream partner until they reveal their true intentions. They feel inferior, but they will never show it. Someone suffering from narcissistic personality disorder will display arrogance and haughty attitudes towards people, and they won't hesitate to put them down. That's right, they need to discredit other people in order to feel better about themselves and what they have to offer as people. Their behavior is also likely to be tinged with a sense of dominance. Get angry when they aren't in control. They regularly need to verify that they have complete control over their victim and that they are completely isolated. To accomplish this, they know how to confuse their victim and make them believe falsehoods. If this happens, it is best to analyze their actions rather than their words so that you can truly know who you are dealing with.